Hello YouTube, this is JonJororo, and I've got something a little bit different today. This would be because I just recently came back from PAX East, and I feel like I should at least talk about some of the things that I felt were worth talking about. Now I'm sure you guys are saying to yourselves, oh, he's going to talk about things like League of Legends and Overwatch. Well, I don't think I need to, because it's already kind of all over the internet. So I compiled a list of different, well, I don't want to call them smaller games, but let's just say they weren't as used in the PAX advertisements, so that's not all you see. That sound good? Going with it. Anyway, I guess the most advertised one that I saw was World of Warships. Now, I normally don't play games like those, I suppose, where it's like kind of more open world, shooting the boats and whatnot. But I gotta say, even though even though I'm not into that, I did give it a try, and well, the game decided to tell me that I was not an asset to my team. So goes to show that my experience bodes well with me. I feel like that was a good time to mention that I went to this convention with Vinity966, and he's in love with the game. And that night he wouldn't stop playing the game. The next day he went back and mercilessly, yes, defeated his competition because fairness. Anywho, the next one, which is another one that he enjoyed a little bit more than me, but I thought was still pretty cool, was the, oh my god, Lord help me if I pronounce this right, Legends of Callasia? 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 Sure, why not? Well, this game is something like the Civilization series, or, well, yeah, he's gonna kick my butt for saying that, but whatever, where you basically have to take over enemy territory. Man, you know what? Why am I doing this today? You know why am I freaking doing this on a day where I can't even talk? Did someone answer me that? Anyway, yeah. This is awkward. This is extremely awkward. Alright, rolling back on track. You take over the enemy territory within a certain amount of turns. And, either you win by taking over the territory before the turns are up, or when the turns are up, whoever's got the most territory wins. And it seems to be like I don't know. I saw a bit of card game thrown in there, but that could have just been my, non-perception of those kinds of games. Speaking of card-like games, there was another game that we tried out that I thought was really cool, called Deckbound Quest. And what you do there is that you get different power-ups that you can use against, well, it's weird because there are some you can use on yourself, some you can use your enemy, and then you have 4 different totems or little places where you can take over and help defeat your enemy. In the way it's like those card games such as Magic, where you get the enemies that attack your the monsters that attack your opponents. Jesus Christ! But instead of each person having their own side of monsters, there is a neutral side, and you gotta attack each territory to make it on your side. And if the enemy kills your territory, it's on their side. And so it just all goes back and forth until everything just blows up and everyone dies. So that's that. The next one is not... Oh, the next one is Western Press, which I found both very enjoyable and extremely irritating. The reason being is because it was recommended to play with an Xbox controller, and I haven't used the Xbox controller too much in my lifetime. And so I am not too good at it. But it is a very, very fun game where two people will stand off like the old Western standoffs, and it will give you a button prompt that you need to press in a certain order, and whoever presses that the most correct in the fastest amount of time will win the match. Sometimes you'll have one life, sometimes it'll be best of 2 out of 3. And like I mentioned earlier about the Xbox controller, word of advice: if you're used to let's see, I believe it uses Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. The thing about PC is, you got to use the WASD and the up, down, and left and right arrow keys, but that's a little, The way I told myself when I was playing it, if you use a Nintendo console a lot in your life, prepare to lose this game a lot. Moving on, we have another kind of more advertised game there called P.O.L.N, which I thought was really cool because it reminded me of Soma in the way that, well, they told me that you were abandoned, and I can't remember if it was underwater or if it's it's in space. It's in space. Something happened to your research team, and you're the only one left, and you gotta figure out what happened. And the way it reminds me is just like the being alone aspect. It's not so much a horror game as it is with it's just like it's got the mystery, the creepiness of mystery in it, and that's what really brought me to that. Another note I have to make is that upon going to this convention was also the first time I tried the Oculus Rift along with the new Vive system that just came out, which, oh my goodness, words cannot describe how awesome it is. My only downside is that I don't have the required system to run even remotely anything like that. But that topic leads into the next game I'm talking about called Swing Star. Now, Swing Star is a game where you play as a little kid, little boy. You get a helmet with one of those those sticky hands you get at like the carnivals, and you like stick them on the wall or stick them to your friends, and they're kind of like really icky and weird. Well, what you do in this one is you aim at a obstacle, not an obstacle, but like just a rock in the air, or something like that, like a cliff or whatever, and then you shoot towards it. The hand on the hat shoots towards it, and it grabs onto it, and you can swing from that cliff or rock or whatever you grabbed. And my description of it after I played was, it feels like being on a roller coaster without being on a roller coaster. It'll give you like the mental state, but you won't feel anything because you're just sitting down. Alright. Oh, I have. Alright. Next game that Vinny found a little more interesting, but I thought it was still pretty cool, is called FleetCOMM. The interesting thing about this game is that it was made by some members of NASA. And what this game is a 2D game, and it's a space shooter. And what you do is you have 3 different kinds of ships. I cannot name them off the top of my head. Each ship has like their own kind of guns, and you take any combination of 5, and you kind of like merge them into like a group. You go around and you shoot people using their different abilities. Some have like rail guns, some have like laser bullets. Some got cloaks, some got shields. So you're basically like shooting space shooting games, but like more tactical, which is pretty cool. This next game, oh my goodness, I want to already be here. Well, not as bad as a later game I'm going to talk about, but it's called Streamline. And the thing that got me looking at it a little more is because I saw that I'm guessing the main character, their weapon is a stop sign, and I would love nothing more than to plant a stop sign into my enemies' heads. And it looks really cool, because you get like different power-ups and different there are even debuffs there. Like I saw they had like concrete shoes, and I guess each of the power-ups and debuffs affect everybody. So like when and it also seems like it was a random event too, where like all of a sudden, oh, there it is. But I mean, I didn't get to try it, but I really want to. It's going to be coming out later this year, I believe. Another interesting thing about this game that they did for the convention is they made a map that looked like the convention. So they were fighting within the convention, which is pretty cool. This next game, I enjoyed. It's very interesting, but it can be also very confusing at the same time. What you do in this, I believe I was playing this with a PlayStation controller, but I wouldn't see why an Xbox controller wouldn't work either. Is that this is called a full name is a Dual Hand Disaster Trackher, Trackher, and what you do is you have two different screens. It looks like it's almost like multiplayer, but it's not single player. On the left screen, you got a bunch of enemies coming towards you, and you got to shoot the enemies before they make it past you. They won't shoot you, but they're just trying to make it past you. Because on the right screen, you're playing as somebody who's trying to get materials and data or something. And when the enemy ships on the left get past you, they attack your ship on the right. And so while you're trying to shoot on the left, you gotta try to find the material on the right while also avoiding these ships. And the more ships you let through, the more difficult the right's gonna be. And it's a huge clusterfuck, but it looks amazing. This is the game I was talking about where I'm a little upset that it's not already out. And the reason why it's not already out is because they just actually announced it yesterday. I'm recording this on Sunday the 24th. So yesterday, Saturday the 23rd, they one more time, the day before, Friday the 22nd, they released it because they did it for the convention. It's still in the early alpha stages. It's called Embers of War. In this game, it's basically a tower defense, but also a shooter. I was gonna say first person shooter, but it's both first person and third person depending on preference, and it is ungodly amazing. I wish it was already here because I have way too much fun with the stupid thing. It's awesome. I don't know what more to say because they're still in development, but all I can say is that it's like your basic tower defense. You set up turrets that come in to destroy your main I forget what they call the device. You got something in the middle, and the enemies are trying to destroy it, and you gotta set up turrets to kill your enemies. But the cool thing is that you can help the turrets by either upgrading them, or you can even shoot the enemies yourself. So if your turrets can't finish off an enemy, you can. That's amazing. This next one, I found it okay. It's not it wasn't one of the greatest ones I saw there, but I still thought it was pretty interesting. It's called PAKO. And I think the one they had there was PAKO 2. Yeah, what this is you're playing as a getaway car, and what you do is that you go and you pick up criminals, and you bring them back to the getaway truck. And the thing that kind of turned us away, well, not away, but the thing I feel like they should improve on is the controls are really, really it's really hard to control. I mean, it makes it look wacky, and that's the fun in it. But I mean, I guess practice makes perfect. So who am I to complain? Yeah. All right. This next one is called Dead Years. Oh, this one looks great because what it is, it reminds me a lot of games like Fallout or the Elder Scrolls series, because what you got here is this is a zombie game, but it's also an open world RPG. And you gain experience, you can level up different attributes that you have, and you explore the game, and there's a story that you can follow, and there's different quests and side quests you can take, and I think it looks really good. Oh yeah, that's right. How could I forget? You have a dog companion, which really made me think of Fallout as well. But the thing about this is you can play as the human, but you can also play as the dog. You can switch to the dog if the human has not enough health to fight, you can switch to the dog to fight the zombies, which is pretty great. Alright. This next one's called Kona. Well, it's, I don't remember what language the developer made this in, but, I'm sure he's gonna make a, English version too, since it was at PAX. And what this is, it's a mystery game where you play as a detective, and you're looking for clues. I'm having trouble remembering what exactly it was that happened, but it's another one like, you know, those mysteries that you go around, you gotta find clues, and I'm sure there's. Oh, here's a. Oh yeah, here we go. Step into the shoes of a detective to explore the eerie village, investigate surreal events, and battle the elements to survive. There you go. Doesn't that sound amazing? Well, I'm looking at the website as I'm talking to you guys about this, so I'm not like trying to pull out random shit out of my head. You know, it's a little tough to do that, especially after a long weekend like this. And now that leads me to the last one. It's called Fortified! Exclamation point. This is much like Embers of War, except it's more sci-fi. Even though they tell us that it takes place in the 1950s, so it's like one of those, like, you know, you ever see those classic movies where it's like, oh, Marvin the Martian, you got like the generic UFOs and their generic robots and all that, and it reminded me and Vinny about the Embers of War, but also Man vs. Machine from TF2, because it's basically that. I mean, that's basically, you know, it's all basically tower defense. But anyway, yeah. So in this game, you can actually play. Well, Embers of War, they're planning on a co-op. This one, it's already out on Steam, and it was amazing. We tried it out. It's amazing. You play as 4 different people. There's like, well, you play 4 different people, and you can play with 4 people. And what you do is you build things like turrets and cannons and mines and all that. Or I think you can build extra people. I don't remember. But and you set it up so that you need to kill them. I am explaining tower defense to you. I am explaining tower defense. The difference between this one is the first wave, they come out of 1 place. The second wave, they come out of 2 places. The third wave and on, they come out of 3 places. And you just gotta not die. The end. Congratulations, we've made it. Do we got a cookie? Okay, I've actually lost my mind. All right, so that's my spiel about PAX. Had a great time. I guess I could talk a little. I'll give it a little bit more go. Why not? I also did the Vive, which was awesome. I played Space Pirates, and I think the greatest thing about that is that since it takes where your headset is, you can actually dodge things that are shooting towards you. When that's amazing. I don't want to say too much because, you know, it's an experience best enjoyed when you actually get to experience it. So yeah, that's my rant. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that, you know. I'm going to put links to each of the games I talked about websites, since I'm probably not going to be able to get gameplay of all of them. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm probably going to stick some kind of like me being a retard in TF2 or whatever here. Yeah, all right. I'll put the links in case any of these sound interesting to you guys, and you can take a look and do what you need if you want to support these creators. I know I'm getting let's see, I'm getting Fortified tomorrow. So, hey, they said it was on sale tomorrow, so why the hell not? All right, and thanks for watching.